Hey everyone, Strummer here, and today we are doing a review of Magic Spoon cereal. I have before you 6 boxes which I purchased in a set along with the Magic Spoon bowl and Magic Spoon spoon, and these were purchased with my own money. This is a not sponsored review, and we're going to address a few things in today's review. One is going to be things like texture and flavor, basic things you would want in any sort of food review. And another thing we're going to touch on are the health claims, which are things that make Magic Spoon really enticing to a lot of people. And it's really what first caught my eye when I noticed Magic Spoon on the internet quite a long time ago, comparatively, in internet years. We're also going to take a look at YouTube sponsorships for Magic Spoon, because like Audible and Green Chef and BetterHelp, there are a lot of brands that do focus a lot on YouTube sponsorship. So usually they will have an affiliate code or something of the like that they are offering to a content creator, and the content creator is usually doing some sort of taste test or review or demonstration of the Magic Spoon cereal. So first up, we're going to talk about Magic Spoon's grain-free cereal in the flavor cocoa. This is the high-protein, keto-friendly, gluten-free, grain-free, soy-free, wheat-free, naturally flavored, totally delicious, childlike cereal for grown-ups. Hold on to the dream. So that is one premise of all the cereals, which we'll touch on a little bit later, and that is their health claims. So first, let's talk about things like texture and flavor, things you'd want to know about cereal. I always loved cereal growing up. It was something that you could always have as a snack or as breakfast or sometimes as dinner. So it really was something we had in the house all the time. So going into this, given how it's presented for this cocoa flavor, it looks like a combination between something like Cocoa Pebbles and that classic sort of Cheerio or O flavored or O shaped type of cereal. So I had that in mind going into it. I also had in mind, given the health claims for all the Magic Spoon cereals, that not very much chocolate flavor. So that was a little surprising. That, I mean, it was good that there wasn't a bad chocolate flavor, but it was a very mild chocolate flavor. And this texture of cereal brought up an ongoing issue we started having with all of the cereals, which was it getting very much stuck to your teeth and not really breaking down when you chew it with or without milk in a sort of satisfying way. It almost just gets really gunked up in your mouth. It's hard to swallow, it's hard to, it doesn't act texturally like most cereals do. And again, that is going back to cereals are mostly grains, so that's a big texture difference that it seems like you really have to accept in order to enjoy any of the Magic Spoon cereals. But that was something we found especially so with the cocoa. For some reason, the flavoring of it mixed with that textural component made it really kind of unappetizing. So this, we finally did manage to finish. This one took a concentrated effort to finish because, again, it wasn't offensive, it just wasn't something we ever wanted to eat again. So we finished it, and now we got this really cute box. I do love the boxes and the you know, little puzzles on the back and stuff like that. So this one on the front, it says 0 grams total sugar, 4 grams net carbs, and 13 grams of protein in this. So let's take a look at our next cereal. This one we still have some of, and this is the Magic Spoon cereal in peanut butter. So it seems like it's really going for a kind of Reese's peanut butter cup cereal, plus again that same O shape that you would know from Cheerios or some sort of oat-based cereal. So this one again is 0 grams of sugar, 4 grams of net carbs, and 14 grams of total protein. Really cute picture on the front. And it also didn't have very strong of a flavor, and the peanut butter flavor was a little strange. I don't know, let me look at the ingredients here. So for the ingredients, they have a milk protein blend, which is casein whey protein concentrate, a sweetener blend, which is allulose, monk fruit extract, stevia extract, then an oil blend of oleic sunflower oil and avocado oil, a tapioca starch, peanut oil, inulin from chicory root and or agave, peanut flour, peanut extract, natural flavor, and salt. So it says it contains milk and peanuts, or it's manufactured in a facility which has it. How can I put this? It doesn't taste like an actual peanut has touched the cereal, contrary to what the allergy warnings say, though I'm sure they're very well in place. But it just doesn't taste like there's any really peanut butteriness in the cereal itself. It again has a very mild flavor, much like the cocoa, where it's not offensive, but it's almost like, why do we have these if they don't really taste like it? These especially did put my husband off because he loves peanut butter flavored cereals and he just couldn't finish them. So I've been slowly trying to work on them myself, but I think we still have, you know, with this report out, you know, this much remaining at least in the bottom. So again, very cute puzzles, very cute design, but it's not something we would really want to eat again. The stickiness in the teeth texture factor is slightly less bad on this than it was on the cocoa, but still it just doesn't feel like a cereal when you crunch on it. Even if it's mixed with milk, it disintegrates in an unpleasant way, so it still has the same textural issues as prior. But that's this one. So next up, let's discuss one of my favorite box arts, by the way. You have this magic spoon wizard atop a large bunny that seems to be able to fly, or at least float, or maybe bound and jump in some sort of magical manner. Anyway, it's really cute. So this is the frosted flavor with 0 total sugars, 4 grams of net carbs, and 13 grams of protein, like the other ones. This one we still have quite a lot of. Let's see. Still full up to about here in the bag. This one had, again, the same texture issues that we experienced, and the sweetener that they're using for like the frosted part really just is unappetizing. So this is the one that I think we have the most of left, because it's, you know, it's the sweetener that's present inside the actual cereal itself, but it's also been coated or dusted or frosted on top. So let me actually take a look at this. So it's the same milk protein blend, sweetener blend, oil blend. It's actually the exact same ingredients. I think it's just missing the flavoring of some of the other ones. But this one is going to take us a while probably to get through, or we'll try to find some alternative uses for it. But the fact that it has no real other flavor than the sweetener, and that the sweetener flavor isn't super nice, and it has all the texture issues of the other ones, you haven't eaten a lot of it. Next up we have cinnamon roll. And I love cinnamon rolls, the actual product of cinnamon rolls, but I have always been very suspicious of anything that claims to be cinnamon roll flavored. Because what does that mean, actually, to be cinnamon roll flavored? Well, cinnamon, yes, but you're also going to have other things from the pastry, I would assume, that's involved. And then sometimes there's sort of a cream cheese component or an icing component. And that can be a lot to try to simulate in a flavor. So this is the cinnamon roll flavor. Only has 12 grams of protein, but otherwise is the same as the rest. And let's take a look at the ingredients for this one to see if anything else sticks out. The only extra ingredient in here from the last one is the addition of cinnamon. So it really is mostly about where they're sourcing their natural flavors, which isn't specifically listed very much on here. I couldn't eat any more of this. This one is, yeah, about here, I would say, as far as fullness. I was really just put off by the the flavor it was trying to do. I even tried to like doctor it up a little bit. I put like some extra cinnamon in. I think I added like nutmeg, more milk. I was trying so hard to save this cereal, but it was just had a very unpleasant flavor. This one for me personally was kind of the worst just because of my extra loving cinnamon rolls, but being duped by that flavor being used in other things for so long. For both my husband and I, it would probably be the cocoa one, but this one was especially disappointing. Next we have blueberry muffins. So this is one that I believe one YouTuber I saw who did a Magic Spoon sponsorship, they said it was their favorite flavor. And I would have to say this one is the most palatable for me. I actually liked the flavor. I again had to struggle with the texture every single time, but it had like a blueberry muffin-y sort of flavor. My husband didn't care for it, but I mostly was able to eat this entire box. It was again that, you know, oat style, O-shaped cereal, but with that sort of blueberry sweet flavor, and it worked out. Let me see on the ingredients list for this. It does say blueberry, fruit and vegetable juice for color, salt. So yeah, it has again the 13 grams of protein, 5 net carbs in this one, and 0 grams of sugar. So I really think using blueberry specifically helped a lot with that because it carries a lot of color and flavor, especially depending on how you treat it. This seems to be the most palatable one. I wouldn't rebuy it because I again just can't get over the texture and the other, you know, taste components that I would want in a cereal for the price and for how you have to get it. But yeah, it was the tastiest. And look at this cute little octopus. Someone always has to have the spoon. And last but not least, we have Fruity, which appears to be their Fruit Loops competitor. Very adorable picture on the front. 13 grams of protein, 4 grams of net carbs, 0 total sugars. And this one, I think, does have some extra ingredients as well. Turmeric extract, spirulina extract, and vegetable juice. This one I found less appealing than the blueberry. My husband found it about as palatable as I found the blueberry, I guess you could say. So he was able to eat most of this. This made me miss Fruit Loops so bad while eating it. It tasted enough like it to evoke Fruit Loops, but so far away from it that I found myself just hyper focusing in all the ways that it wasn't Fruit Loops. But again, the main issue with this and with pretty much all the cereals is how they break apart in your mouth, how they break apart in your bowl of milk or bowl without milk, however you want to consume it. It just doesn't seem to have the same binding agents, the same digestion, the same mouthfeel, a lot of the things that you really want to have in a cereal, especially if you're used to eating cereal a lot. And this also isn't something that I was always a person who had maybe 1.5 bowls of cereal or 2 bowls of cereal, or I would top off my milk with cereal. Like I usually ate more than 1 cup of cereal. So that's another thing, is this is really more about portion size, about having something that gives you protein to keep you full and go into your own diet program or whatever it is you follow. Which brings me to our next point, which is the health focus of Magic Spoon. So this says it is high protein, keto friendly, gluten-free, grain-free, soy-free, wheat-free, naturally flavored, totally delicious childlike cereal. So I'm gonna take out the totally delicious part. I will say it's a childlike cereal, and that's what's trying to evoke. So the rest of it, I followed a higher fat and high protein, low carb diet for a while, and that wasn't until I had my gallbladder taken out, and gallbladders helps you process fat by having bile introduced to your system at certain times to help you break it down in your system. So after that, I could not eat foods with much fat at all. So I'm not really here for the keto part, but this could be something that could work into your macros, work into how you separate out the different components of your nutrition, because it's very clear, it's very concise, has everything listed on here. Gluten-free, I can see this being a good gluten-free and grain-free and wheat-free option, because those things are all kind of deeply involved within cereal and other traditionally grain-based products. So that works for it. Soy-free, I want to say there are potential other cereals you could get soy-free pretty easily. So I don't know if this really fills in that gap. And then high protein, again, this is a decent amount of protein, but I feel like there are semi-healthy protein bars that would get you there in more delicious ways, or again, just other natural sources of protein that you could incorporate into your meals or have in small meals that I think are a little bit more impressive than 13 grams, in my opinion. So this was something that I noticed online. I can't remember the years because internet years are like dog years in the void. And I saw it a bit, I saw the cute packaging, I was kind of put off by the price, and I was kind of put off on how you had to order it. So now it is actually in stores. They may not have all of the flavors, but I've seen them in regular grocery stores in some cases, especially in my area, so it is more accessible. I'll be honest, I bought the set for the spoon and for the bowl, and I love them, and they're really cute, and I've washed them lots of times, and I've never had any issues with them. So, for that part of my review, love the bowl, love the spoon, I'm never gonna eat the cereal again. Sounds a little harsh to say, but it's true. I don't really need to have my health concerns or my nutrition or even my fun packaged into something like this. I eat regular cereal on occasion, and I don't have any dietary needs that are addressed by needing something to be gluten-free or grain-free or soy-free or wheat-free. So it's not in my demographic. I love the design, so I agree it is that childlike cereal, and this could be something that someone could view as a treat for themselves if they need those other items in their breakfast life or whenever you eat it life. But I'm just not a part of that market. And that brings me to markets and the last part I wanted to address, which was YouTube sponsorships using Magic Spoon. Over the span of the last 3 years, I want to say, I've had a Magic Spoon advertisement in their video, and they have a link that you can click and use a code or the link itself to get a certain percentage off, usually some sort of pack or other item. So you have this option of how to get it at a reduced rate and maybe entice you to like it. And then there typically is some sort of review of the product or a taste testing inside the video itself. And that's what kind of kills me, because I see them eat it and I've now experienced what it's like to eat it, especially getting it unstuck from your teeth and trying to balance the milk to cereal ratio and never getting it right because it can't chemically be right for some reason. And they're just like, oh, this is my favorite flavor. And I'm like, how? So I know taste is subjective, of course. I've eaten a large range of cereals. I've had several different styles of diets. 3 people in my family have been cooks professionally. So that's just my experience. I am basing it on my taste buds, which I thought were very childlike. But maybe they're just not mature enough for this. Maybe that's the problem. Anyway, that's what's always thrown me off about the YouTube sponsorships, especially when they're eating something that I know has a not very pleasant texture or taste. And I'm just wondering how so many different taste buds can experience different things, I suppose. But that's it for this video. This is an overall negative review of Magic Spoon cereal, I'm afraid. I didn't find it tasty, I didn't find it healthy for me, and I liked the aesthetics the most. So, see me, I guess. But you'll have to see that in another video.